Simpson Thacher is really excited by what MFY does, but we're particularly excited about the recent medical legal partnership that's been set up by MFY with the Department of Child and Adolescent Psychiatry at Bellevue and at 2 other city hospitals. We want to try to take off the shoulders of parents who are overwhelmed by scenarios where they have a child with mental illness. We want to take the legal issues off their plate and help advocate for them and help advocate for their children and try to make a difference by going to the school system and helping develop and advocate for a plan of placement and support that will help the child and help the child's school success and recovery.
My son is Thacher. He's 8 years old, and Thacher has ADHD. He also has ODD, and he goes to a special school.
The child was struggling in class, he was having a hard time paying attention, and he was also having some difficulty on the bus. Kids were picking on him.
In order to get services for Thacher, we needed to have an individualized educational plan, which is commonly referred to as an IEP.
Jeff and Brian are actually from Simpson, and they helped me out so much. You know, I'm really thankful for them. They were able to help my son get a bus para and also a health para. So without them, I don't think that, you know, I would have been able to do this on my own. And I'm really grateful for them. They really did a good job. They were really there for us. They supported us 100%. You know, those guys are really great.
The way I found out about MFY was when I had to put him in Bellevue, and they referred me to MFY because I told them the problems that he had in the school. He has school refusals, so last year his attendance was, he had like 68 days out, his absences. And he was starting that pattern again.
Dylan was struggling in school, especially in math and English classes. He just wasn't engaged in class. He would be more anxious in larger settings, so his psychologist actually recommended him for a smaller learning environment, but he wasn't receiving that learning environment that was appropriate for him from his school.
I requested an IEP meeting so that they can add the findings from Bellevue. The 2 pro bono lawyers that went with me to the final IEP meeting they were just great.
We decided that we're going to just go straight for private placement and ask for busing services because that's the most appropriate setting for Dylan. There's been a lot of the school administrators trying to sidestep her and then trying to tack on services, and none of that was working for Dylan. So we decided to go in strong with a strong ask, and we got that.
No, his attitude changed. He wakes up on his own every morning. Like, he wants to go to school. He does his homework, which it was 3 years since he hasn't, you know, done an assignment. Now he does homework. He's actually happy to go there. He doesn't mind the bus ride at all. He's like, oh, I get to talk to the people there, the bus driver, he's nice. He's like, everyone's nice to me over there. No one's yelling at me. No one's in my face. So he's happy. He's happy, I'm happy.
Access-a-Ride fills a very important purpose for tens of thousands of New Yorkers who have disabilities and who cannot use the regular mass transit system when they need to go to work, visit the doctor, see friends, even do things like shop. People who want Access-a-Ride have to apply for that service. And while obviously many people, tens of thousands, use Access-a-Ride, also many people are denied the right to use Access-a-Ride or lose their benefits.
In representing people who've been denied Access-a-Ride, we noticed a huge percentage of these denials are people with invisible disabilities. Aaron is 4 years old and he has various physical and developmental disabilities. His disabilities, among other things, impact his ability to balance or his ability to process visual stimuli. So Aaron, if he would try to take the subway, even with his mom, he was often falling and hitting his head on poles or even just falling face down on a subway car because he couldn't balance.
There are a number of problems with the current application appeal process. One is that everybody who's denied gets an identical letter without any particular explanation about why they were denied. Two, in order to find out any sort of explanation, people would have to submit a Freedom of Information Law request. And the issue with that is that New York City Transit typically takes 90 days to respond to a FOIL request, but appeals have to be submitted within 60 days. So even if you knew to request your information to a FOIL request, often you wouldn't get it until after the appeal had already run.
We began to appreciate, as the MFY, that there was something wrong with the system. And as a result of that, we made a decision, we at MFY made a decision that the best way to address that was by filing a class action lawsuit.
So now with this class action, people, I think, that are summarily denied, they will now be able to get their file a lot sooner. So now they'll actually have the reasons, they'll know why they were denied in the first place, which will allow them to actually go through the appeal process. They could appeal in person, they could appeal in writing, and with their entire file at their fingertips, it'll be much easier for people to really kind of go through this process and get these benefits. In our class action settlement, we're also asking the Transit Authority to add to their discrimination policies what we do call the invisible type injuries that you wouldn't ordinarily see from somebody kind of walking up and down bus stairs. If you have vertigo, a traumatic brain injury, if you have anxiety disorder.
MFY represented Aaron in his appeal, and now Aaron has 5 years of Access-Ride full services. This means that Aaron can go back and forth from his therapy that he needs twice a week for, he needs speech therapy, occupational therapy, and physical therapy. And before he had Access-Ride, his mom had to choose between getting behind in her rent to pay for cabs to and from therapy twice a week, or having him miss these appointments. So in representing Aaron and getting him services for 5 years, it made a huge impact on his development and his growth and his everyday life.